Good evening, football fans. So excited to be here this evening for our pregame show. We're excited. Harlingen High School taking on Brownsville Hanna Eagles. It's going to be a good one. Two traditional powerhouses, right? Hanna Eagles go way back, and they've had some great teams in the past. This year they've struggled a little bit in district play, but they're going to have the Cardinals here at home tonight. Let's talk about the Cardinal game. Let's talk about what the implications for tonight, Joe. But I'm excited for the game coming on at 7 o'clock.
Well, the implications are still, even though they've got they're in the playoffs, but what they've got to do is to win to remain on that third spot that we talked about earlier, and remain in the third spot playing their number 2 team. Because if Hanna does pull an upset like we talked about, and it can happen, anything can happen in Friday nights, right? Harlingen will probably, if depending on what the other games comes, there's still a lot of
what ifs going
on because the whole playoff picture is still not completely done. We don't know what the number 1 and number 2 will be,
right.
And we don't know what the fourth spot is going to be either. So tonight it's going to tell us everything. It'll end today. It's going to tell us exactly who's going to be the district champion, the runner-up, and third and fourth spot. So it's going to be an interesting night. It's going to be a lot of puzzling to maneuver here. So that's what we're going to have to wait and see until about 10 o'clock tonight.
That's right. It's kind of a pre-playoff game here at Bogus Stadium tonight. The Cardinals, of course, have had a couple of difficult losses this season, Joe. They've come in here and they've had to rebuild a couple times and get that momentum going again. Of course, they've been powered by that great defense, as usually the Cardinals are known for. And they've been also riding a very strong run offense this year behind Isaiah Bell and offensive line doing a great job blocking. And so, the Cardinals that are coming into the game tonight, this is kind of, the preparation for next week, right? And again, you don't ever want to look too far ahead, and you got to take it day at a time and game at a time, understandably so. However, they've got to look at this as a momentum builder. It's got to be a night to come together, put the pieces together, start to make that engine run smoothly in preparation for what's coming next week. Because next week is 0-0. Everybody goes 0-0 in the playoffs, and everybody's got a shot. And so I think for tonight, if we're talking about questions for us with the Cardinals tonight, is can they get that pass game going?
That's a really good question, and I think they're going to have to work on that pass and doing it with Hanna, a little bit lesser team that they've been known to play from the other games here. And I think if they do that and they do that well and gain some momentum, get that running game going, and getting that pass attack, because when you said it best right now, when you go. And you next week it's 0-0,
yep.
And this time the loser goes home.
Yeah,
so you got to start building the momentum right now. Get the momentum going. You said it earlier. The running game has been established. They've got Isaiah Bell. They got Kian Torres running the ball. They've done an outstanding job. But they've got to come back and do some air attack. That way they can have that balance. Offense to go to give that defense a little bit of help there, because we all know that defense is ready to go already.
That's right. Mm-hmm. And, this is kind of the time in the season, right? Everybody talks about peaking at the right time, Joe, because you can have a team come out hot at the beginning of the season. They can run through pre-district. They can even win a couple of district games, and they just fall flat at the end. And so, if you look across the board, this is the time for you to start peaking. You want to peak at the right time. You want to have your pieces. Maybe you got some injuries. Maybe you've got some players that have needed some rest, and you want to put it all together to make a playoff run. And that's really what it comes down to. People are going to remember down the line. They may not remember the regular season record, but they're going to remember how far you went in the playoffs, right? And did you get a by-district game? Did you get an area game? So on and so forth. And so for the Cardinals, Isaiah Bell was hurt a couple weeks ago. We saw that. And so good. We may or may not see him tonight. Not sure. I haven't been out there yet. Kian Torres can run the ball, but maybe some banged-up players are going to get a chance to come back tonight. Maybe you rest some. Lots of different scenarios, if you will. So I'm really excited for the game tonight to kind of see what's going to be on the field before us.
Well, I think it's going to be great. First of all, the weather is going to be great.
The weather is beautiful outside.
This is what we call football weather. We finally get a little bit of weather. We're not going to be sweating up there but anyway, I don't think the players will be dehydrating. But a great point that what you made, Aaron, is that the defense getting some of the questions, some of the injuries, some of the nags. Now, if Harlingen can come out and be a little dominant in the first half and come out with a big, huge a lead, then maybe they could rest their guys that need a little bit of resting and get that momentum so that they can carry the first half and maybe play a little bit in the second half and take it down to whoever they're going to play in the by-district round. Because like you said, the by-district round is going to be one and done. And so this is the time to build the momentum. It doesn't matter how many wins and losses you got anymore. From here next week, it's time. It's playoff football here in Texas, and you've got to go out there with your A game.
Yeah, and it's a great opportunity, right, to kind of put the games behind you. It's already in the past. It's time to look forward. And I know Harlingen does a great job of getting the mentality right, and winning the game in the mind before they get to the field. Let's talk about Hanna. We got to see Hanna earlier this season. And so, a couple of players there, they got some good athletes. And so they're going to come to play. And they're going to scratch, they're going to claw, they're going to fight tonight. They're not going to lay down.
No.
And so expecting to see a great game here at 7 o'clock, right? Expect y'all to be wearing some Letterman jackets tonight. It's the weather for Letterman jackets here in the Valley, so I'm expecting to see a bunch of them, even though they don't fit so well, right? I almost pulled mine out, but they didn't quite close for me. But, Joe, let's talk a little bit about, looking forward, right? We've been talking about the playoff picture, so on and so forth. There is a game on the other end of the Valley that's important tonight. That's Harlingen South, right? And so they're jockeying for that first and second. They're undefeated, but Los Fresnos only has one loss in district. So that's an important. We'll just touch on that just a moment, but they're playing over in Los Fresnos this evening.
Yeah, it is important, and it's Harlingen team.
Harlingen,
so we talk about them a little bit, and it's important for Harlingen because they win the district. If they lose, they slip down to second spot.
Right.
That's very important. So you get the number one place is number 4, and you get 2 and 3. But that's where, and I think they're going to be focused. They're going to be ready to go. I've talked to some of the players. Their parents, and they're focused, they're ready to go. But going back to what you're saying and talking a little bit about Hanna, and Hanna is they're going to come and they're going to bring it, especially for the seniors. That's right. This is going to be the last game, and what better way to end your last game by beating Harlingen? So they're going to come out tough. I don't think that they're just their record doesn't show. They're going to come out. They're going to come out and play hard, and they're going to try to play spoiler.
Yeah.
I mean, they're going to play spoiler because losing the last game going into the playoffs is not a good thing.
It is not. And if you haven't noticed, or if you Cardinal fans, I know some of you already getting here in the stadium. You're getting comfortable for the game. Teams in the Valley, teams in the district, they gear up for Harlingen. They gear up for the Cardinals. They get ready. They say, man, I don't care what the record is, but if we can go and we can beat Cardinals at Bogus Stadium, man, our season has been amazing. And so everybody, in a sense, is gunning for the Cardinals. And so that's why a lot of times they have tough matchups. And sometimes we see things or get things unexpected because there's going to be extra wrinkles, there's going to be extra emotion coming into the game when it comes to playing against the Cardinals. And the Cardinals have to fend that off every single week, and especially when they're at home. And so, they've got a little bit extra, in my opinion, a little bit extra fight that they have to deal with.
Absolutely.
From teams that come across from the Valley because everybody wants to beat the big dog, right? And that's the Cardinals. And but the Cardinals are for the challenge. I think that they've got what it takes this year to make a playoff run.
Yeah, they do. We talked about it earlier. They've definitely got the championship defense. They've got an outstanding defense that can, they've got a good pass rush that can stop the run pretty well. They've got Huerta, in there. But their offense has been it's had a little struggle. I'm not saying they've been playing bad, but they've had a little on the pass game. They've tried to get some balances on there. I know Joe Lopez has struggled a little bit on there, but if he played really well last week. And he had a lot of good, some long touchdown runs. So if we can get some of those things done again this week and get some of the, maybe, spread the ball to a little bit of the long ball and start completing some of these passes, get a little bit of momentum. But most importantly, get a little bit more confidence. Then I think they'll be good. They'll be hard to beat. They're going to be hard to beat.
It's going to be a great game. I really hope that you're able to make it out here. If you're not already here, but it's going to be a great game at 7 o'clock. We will have the live coverage. We're going to be showing video, audio on the HISD website, YouTube, Real Sports Live. And so we're going to be coming live at 7 o'clock. We'll have that in case you're not able to make it to the stadium tonight. We'd love for you to join us on that. If you're here in the stands, make some noise tonight. Get excited. It's going to be a great night for some football in South Texas. So pre-playoff game is the way I'm looking at it, Joe. It's exciting. I can feel the electricity in the air.
Absolutely, and it feels like it's great weather out there. So, join us at 7 o'clock, and we'll be ready to go.